What is up, Broncos fans? The Denver Broncos Show back here again to do another video. In this video, I just wanted to kind of talk about what the Broncos did in the first night and the first round of the 2016 NFL Draft, which is about to wrap up as I'm filming this video. I believe Seattle is on the clock right now with the last pick of the first round. What an incredible night for all NFL fans, all NFL teams, with obviously the exception of the Patriots, who did not have a first round pick in this year's draft. Just a crazy night, a lot of movement. A few guys fell. I mean, this board couldn't have fell more perfectly for the Broncos. A few guys fell, a few teams reached on a few guys, and the Broncos were definitely the beneficiary of that. And once again, John Elway, I mean, how can you ever doubt this guy? Makes another brilliant move, hits another home run in the first round, just like he did in last year's draft, trading up to get Shane Ray. He once again trades up here in the first round. We traded up from pick 31 to pick 26 with Seattle. We also sent a third round pick 94 to Seattle in the trade. So, I mean, we really didn't give up much to trade up to pick 26. And we got the guy that I think a lot of Broncos fans wanted. I know I definitely wanted this guy, and honestly, this was probably the most ideal scenario for the Broncos in terms of who they wanted in the first round of this year's draft. The Broncos, of course, took with that 26th pick quarterback Paxton Lynch out of Memphis. I couldn't be more thrilled as a Broncos fan. I couldn't be more surprised. I really thought there was no way that Paxton Lynch was going to fall to even 26, let alone 31. But again, as this draft went on, with the Browns kind of trading down from pick 8 to 15, with the Jets passing Paxton Lynch up at number 20. I mean, just as the picks kind of rolled along, it looked more and more likely that the Broncos were going to have a real shot to get Paxton Lynch. Then, of course, John Elway pulls the trigger, jumps up ahead of some teams like Arizona, Kansas City, even Dallas was trying to trade back in the first round to get Paxton Lynch, get ahead of those teams, and get our guy. And again, you didn't give up that much to move up to 26. You exchange first round picks, you exchange 31 with 26, you throw in an extra third rounder. We had 2 third round picks, so you still have a third round pick as well. I mean, this was just a great value trade, and just once again, a great move by John Elway to not panic, not be desperate, and make a great trade to trade up 5 spots, not reach for Paxton Lynch, and get great value with him at pick 26. And again, I could not be more thrilled as a Broncos fan. I think most people in Denver right now are extremely thrilled with this selection of Paxton Lynch. And again, I got to give John Elway a ton of credit for the way he once again maneuvered the draft. And again, hits another home run, at least in my opinion, here in the first round of the 2016 NFL Draft. Looking at Paxton Lynch, of course, quarterback out of Memphis. I talked about him pretty extensively in my draft preview. I mentioned he was like the ideal scenario, the ideal guy for the Broncos to kind of select as the player or prospect to really fill that void that's kind of been left behind at the quarterback position, with, of course, Peyton Manning retiring and Brock Osweiler leaving to the Houston Texans via free agency. Paxton Lynch, of course, 6'7", 245 pounds, 22 years old. A lot of people will compare him to Brock Osweiler because of his physical stature. Obviously, he's the same height. He's a big, tall, athletic guy. But in my opinion, he's a much more elusive, much more fluid athlete than Brock Osweiler. And obviously, like Brock Osweiler, he's got an elite arm. This is a guy that has a huge, huge arm, can make all the throws from a physical standpoint, can do everything that you want to see out of a potential NFL franchise quarterback. And you look at just kind of the numbers he put up last season at Memphis. He had a stellar year for the Tigers last year. Threw for 3,776 yards to go along with 28 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. Completed 66.8% of his passes. I mean, this is a guy that put up some monster numbers, and again, has all the physical traits that you want to see from an NFL franchise quarterback. He's big, he's got an elite arm, and again, he's very mobile. This is a guy that people again will compare to Brock Osweiler, but he is much more athletic than Brock Osweiler. He has much smoother, quicker feet. He's a much more fluid athlete. He's more elusive, in my opinion. Obviously, some of the things that Paxton Lynch is going to have to work on, first and foremost, his footwork. Obviously, playing kind of in that spread offensive system at Memphis. This is a guy that wasn't really put in a lot of situations to throw the ball with 5-step dropbacks or 7-step dropbacks. So that's obviously something that he's going to have to work on and definitely improve on. That's kind of the biggest weakness, at least that I see in Paxton Lynch's game, is his footwork, his anticipation, his timing needs to improve. But again, he's got an elite arm. He can make all the throws. throws. He's got great touch as well on his passes, and obviously just kind of getting used to the NFL, the speed of the NFL game, and making quicker decisions, really kind of processing information at a quicker rate and going through his progressions faster. Those are all things that he's going to obviously have to improve on, but those are things that he definitely can improve on. And again, the physical tools that he has, you can't teach. Again, the size, the lead arm. I mean, this guy's got a rocket for an arm. Easily, day one coming in the NFL, he's probably got to have one of the top 3 or 4 arms in the league. And again, is so athletic, so elusive, and so mobile at 6'7", is much more of a fluid athlete and much quicker, in my opinion, than Brock Osweiler was. And again, he is a perfect fit for Gary Kubiak's offensive system. Our offensive system really highlights Paxton Lynch's strength. This is a guy that you want to put on rollouts. You want to get him outside the pocket, and again, he's a guy that can really shines outside the pocket, making throws out on the run, making plays with his legs, and we're going to do that in Gary Kubiak's offensive system again, which has a lot of play action passing, has a lot of rollouts, has a lot of quarterback bootlegs. Again, it's just kind of like a perfect marriage, not only for us but also for Paxton Lynch. This is a great system for him to come in. It's a great organization for him to come in to learn under Gary Kubiak, to have John Elway, as the president, there to kind of be under his tutelage as well. I mean, this couldn't be a more perfect fit for Paxton Lynch. And again, I am just so thrilled that we got our guy here and filled that void at the quarterback position, because this is a pick that not only helps us immediately, but this is also a pick that obviously is helps us long term. I mean, we got our franchise quarterback now, and when Brock Osweiler left for Houston, I don't think anyone really imagined that the Broncos would get Paxton Lynch, here a few months later. Kind of replaced Brock Osweiler with a player that's pretty much, identical to him, except more talented, at least in my opinion, definitely more athletic. So this is a great selection by the Broncos. Again, didn't reach for him. Only traded up 5 spots. Only had to trade really a third-round pick when you had 2 third-round picks anyway in this draft to get him. And it's just so great to have Paxton Lynch. I'm thrilled. I'm still kind of in shock. I really did not expect us to get him. I didn't expect him to fall as far as he did to 26. Can't wait to see Paxton Lynch's development, starting from training camp this year and OTAs this year to the next few years, and really see him progress. I think he's going to be an extremely talented quarterback in this league. And again, I think he's such a brilliant, perfect fit for our offensive system, under Gary Kubiak. And again, it immediately fills that void, not only short term, but mainly long term at the quarterback position. We get our franchise quarterback here and fill that void that Peyton Manning and Brock Osweiler left behind at the quarterback position. And the great thing is we do have Mark Sanchez, who, as I mentioned in my draft preview, is kind of like that Band-Aid. We don't have to throw Paxton Lynch into the fire this year. He can spend a year, learn behind Mark Sanchez, who I think will be a great mentor to him, kind of learn the ins and outs of the system, kind of learn from Mark Sanchez and his prior experiences in New York and kind of his failures in the past. I think it's just a great situation all around. And again, it's one of those fits that's not only perfect for us, but perfect for Paxton Lynch. And how can you not like this guy? This guy is so enthusiastic. He loves the game. He's a great guy off the field. He's going to be, a great locker room presence, a great leader. I think our team's really going to rally around him. And again, he's coming into a great locker room, coming to a team that's got a great defense. There's not a lot of pressure on him, so it's great to see him here. And how could you not like the guy after seeing him, ball and be in tears, with the Bronco hat on as it was announced that we were selecting him. It's just an awesome night to be a Broncos fan. And once again, congratulations to Paxton Lynch. Congratulations to his family. And I just want to, welcome him and his family to Denver. The Mile High City is thrilled to have Paxton Lynch, and I'm really looking forward to see what he does. So leave me a comment below, guys. What did you think of the first round of the 2016 NFL Draft? What did you think of the Broncos trading up? Did you think the Broncos, made a good value trade here to trade up 5 spots to get Paxton Lynch? And once again, what do you think of the Broncos selecting quarterback Paxton Lynch out of Memphis with the 26th pick in the 2016 NFL Draft? Thrilled as a Broncos fan. Once again, great to have Paxton Lynch. This is kind of a dream scenario, I think, for the Broncos here to get their quarterback of the future. And I'm just giddy right now as a Broncos fan. Take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. And as always, go Broncos. Welcome Paxton Lynch to the Mile High City. Can't wait to see what you do. And it's great to have you as the future franchise quarterback of the Denver Broncos.